Hi, this is Mr. Wu again, and welcome to this lesson on integer models for subtraction. Now, if you haven't viewed the lesson on addition, definitely go ahead and do that first to introduce those models, and it's a lot easier to understand subtraction if we think about addition first. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about the number line model again first. And this is the way people are often first introduced to integer operations. Now, for subtraction, the procedure is like this, similar to addition. You start at 0, which is your home, and move to your first number on the number line, whether that be positive or negative. Now here's the procedure. Subtracting a positive number always moves you to the left. Okay, we end up with less. That should make sense. Now subtracting a negative number always moves you right. Now why is that? One simple explanation, well, it's just the opposite. If I subtract a positive number and move left, subtracting a negative number must not do the same thing. It's going to have to do the opposite. It's only two directions. So it's going to move me right. Okay, and as we talk about money, hopefully that'll make a little more sense. Okay, so let's move on and talk about integer money again. Now the rules are just the same as for addition. We have two types of money. We have money we have, which is cash in green. Now each card represents a positive integer, or positive $1. And we also have money that we owe, an IOU or bill, which is red. And each card here represents a negative integer, $1 owe, or -1. Now in your account, now subtracting a positive number is like spending cash. You end up with less or in debt. That should make sense. If I spend money that's in my wallet or account or wherever, I'm going to end up with less. It's like saying, I have $2, I spend $1, now I have $1 left over. Positive 2 minus positive 1 equals positive 1. That's the subtraction you probably first learned. That makes sense. Now subtracting a negative number, it's a little different here. It's like canceling an IOU or a bill. You owe less or even add available cash. Right? It's a little bit like paying off a bill or having it canceled. If you have a credit card, it's like saying, hey, you don't owe this anymore. If you even take away more, there's even a possibility that you add credit or available cash. An interesting way of thinking about that. Thinking about credit cards or accounts makes it a little easier to understand. So it's like saying, I owe $2. I have one of those IOUs canceled. I don't have to pay it anymore. It's credited to me. Now I only owe 1. -2 minus -1 equals -1. I had one of those -1s taken away. Now I just have -1 left over. Okay, so that takes a little bit hard to kind of wrap your head around, but there's a way of understanding that makes sense. Okay, here's a little challenge. Try modeling these situations. Having $5, then spending $4. Having $4, then spending $5. Ooh, spending more than you have. Think about that. Owing $6, then borrowing another $3. Owing $6, then canceling 3 of those dollars that you owe. And owing $4, then canceling 5 of those that you owe. Okay, these are all the pretty much different possible situations here. Now write an integer equation for each using positive and negative values and an equal sign. Write an integer equation to represent each. Go ahead and pause the video here and see what you get on the next slide. Okay, what did you come up with? Having $5 and spending 4. That's probably the most common situation here. So positive 5 minus positive 4 equals positive 1. 5 minus 4 equals 1. I have $5, I spend 4, I have $1 left over. Having $4 and spending $5. Positive 4 minus 5. Ooh, I spent more than I have. I'm going to end up owing something. I'm going to have a bill or IOU equals -1. 4 minus 5 equals -1. That should make sense. So that's how you end up owing something. Owing $6, then borrowing another $3. Okay, let's see this. -6 minus 3 equals -9. I owed $6. I borrowed another 3. Oh, I owe even more now. I now owe 9, negative 9. Okay, owing $6, then canceling 3 of those dollars. Negative 6 minus negative 3, that's a minus a negative, equals negative 3. I owed 6, I canceled 3 of those IOUs. Oh, I still have some left though. Now I have negative 3. And owing $4, then canceling $5. Okay, so negative 4 minus negative 5 equals, positive 1. I owed $4, I canceled 5 of them, but I only owed 4. So what happens to left over? I have a credit left over, so I actually end up positive 1. On a number line, that's a good picture of that. I start negative 4, I move 5 to the right, I'm going to end up at positive 1. Okay, let's talk about adding the opposite. And this is a rule you kind of come up with, you see in your books. It's one that makes sense, and it's a way to connect subtraction to addition. To remind you, if you don't remember it, it goes like this. Well, since subtraction is the opposite or inverse operation of addition, think of subtracting a number as simply adding its opposite. A lot of times you say, take that addition, that subtraction problem, and just add the opposite. Add the opposite. So for example, 3 minus 4, an equivalent way of writing that is 3 plus negative 4. We add the opposite, right? So those are two ways of understanding that. Okay, 3 minus 4 or 3 plus negative 4. They're both equal to negative 1. Negative 3 minus 4 becomes negative 3 plus negative 4, adding the opposite. So think about our integer money models. There's two ways of understanding that. I owe $3 and I spend 4 more, or I owe $3 and I add another $4 that I owe. In both cases, they end up being negative 7. 3 minus negative 4 becomes 3 plus positive 4, which should both equal to positive 7. Negative 3 minus negative 4 becomes negative 3 plus positive 4. And you can just write right on your problem here, add the opposite. Okay, in this case, they're both equal to positive 1. So definitely think about the models first and why that works, but this is a really good shortcut for taking a subtraction problem and thinking of it as addition. For more about and great activities involving these types of integer models, be sure to check out Positive versus Negative Investigations with Integers by the Ames Education Foundation.